So as of this week, September 14th, 2020, there's a couple of new updates to Google Meet. I've started a Meet so that you can see them. The first one I'd like to talk about is the grid view or tiled view that allows you to see up to 49 people. So to see that, you start up your Google Meet. Right now I have a Google Meet with just 2 people in it, but I hit these 3 dots in the bottom right corner. I go to Change Layout, and then I have the choice either auto or tiled view. And you can see at the bottom there is now a slider that will show the maximum number of people to display. So I can go anywhere from 6 with the choices in here all the way up to 49. So that is the first edition. If you might notice, I used to have this screen view extension. You don't need that anymore. And at the end of the video, we'll see how we can delete that because it's been rather flaky anyway. The other change, though, we wanted to talk about was this control over here, this shield, which will also show up in the chat. But this shield will give you control over who can present during your Google Meet. So if I hit the shield, it lets me choose if I want everyone, the students, participants, to be able to share their screen. If I don't want them to be able to share their screens, accidentally or otherwise, I throw the switch, and they can no longer do that. If I don't want them to send messages in the chat, and this is the Meet chat over here, I can turn that off as well. And you might notice I have these controls in the chat. So students will still be able to open the chat. They'll be able to read things in the chat that you might write to them. But here's that switch again for the control. The third thing I wanted to talk about during this video, you still have to be the last person out of your Meet to prevent students from continuing the Meet without you. And I usually recommended, and we'll just say you didn't have anything open at this time, going to the People tab, see who's in your chat, and going down to this drop down and using this remove person from the Meet. If you do that, you might have to re-invite them the next time. Google will prevent them from auto rejoining. So until Google adds the End Meet for All button, which should be coming in the future, you will have to remove any inattentive students or any students that might have lost the Meet window on your own using this button so that your Meet completely ends. While we're talking about things, you might notice this microphone button. If any students had a lot of background noise, they weren't sure how to mute themselves, or they're interrupting class, you could always use this mute button to go ahead and mute students. Instead of seeing a green flashing here, you would see this mute icon. Actually, if you do remove a student and they can't get back into your Meet, maybe even the next day or maybe later that day if you're having another Meet, you might have to manually add the person using this Person Plus icon. So just be aware you might have to do that. If I click on the Person Plus icon, it asks me to go ahead and invite that particular student. So that might only be an issue, like I said, if you use the Remove Person icon. So if I wanted to kick this person out because the meeting's about to end, I hit that. I want to remove myself from the call. I go ahead and do that. And now the person's out. All right, that's pretty much about it. But if you are like me and you had this grid view extension, which was pretty nice when it worked, but a lot of times it would stop working, I'm going to go ahead and uninstall that grid view so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So to do that, I'm going to go to my extensions, which is this puzzle piece. I'm going to go to my Manage Extensions. I'll manage extensions. Here's the Google Meet Grid View. I can just switch it off. But even better than that, I'm not going to need it anymore. So I'm going to hit the Remove button. It asks me if I want to remove it. I'll go ahead and say yes to that. And now that is now gone. It's not in my list anymore. And I'm all set. I might have to end this Meet because it was going on before. I'll go ahead and end this Meet. And if I restart one, now I no longer have this grid view to worry about. All right, hopefully that helps you out. Enjoy the new meeting updates, up to 49 in the grid view, control over presenting screen and chat, and also the ability to kick someone out and not have them rejoin. Just be aware that you might have to. And coming soon, there'll be an End Meet for All button, so you won't have to worry about being the last one out of the room. All right. Hopefully the start of the year has gone smoothly, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.